What is up, everyone? So today we are going to start a new series, and I'm going to call it Fish or Flop. There's a ton of little man-made ponds all around these communities that are popping up around in the villages, and I want to fish the ponds, but I don't know if there's anything in there. So we're going to go figure that out. We're going to fish a couple ponds a day or per video, and we're going to see if there's fish in them or if it's a flop. So let's get fishing. So a little bit about these ponds is I have no idea what the bottom is like. While I was sitting here rigging up my rods, I heard fish for sure. Like, there's fish in here. I don't know how big they are, but I definitely heard fish hitting the top water. So I don't know how deep the water is. I don't know what the composition of the bottom is. I don't know if there is grass. I really have zero idea what's down there. So we're just kind of throwing moving baits, really, like a Texas rig, and I have a chatterbait or a bladed jig hooked up. We're gonna throw those primarily to see what the bottom is like and what the fish might want to eat. I know you can't see them. Maybe the GoPro will pick them up. I got a video of them. There's a little baby gator stalking me though. He's eyeballing me. Has been since I got here. So we might move a little bit away from him so we don't bother him no more. The only thing that's slightly sketchy about this one is I don't know if he got moved, but at one point there was like a 13-foot gator in this pond. So I don't know if he's here anymore or not. And I mean, probably shouldn't be trying to figure it out, but you gotta do what you gotta do for the video. This is what we're gonna do, just cause that gator went under. I don't know where he's at. We're gonna move up the bank a little. We're gonna go around, we're gonna fish it. If we catch something, cool. That's a win for the video, or a win for the pond. But if we don't catch anything, then it's flop. All right, one more cast in this spot. We're gonna move on. What I'm trying to do is I keep seeing a ton of top water activity. So what I'm trying to do right now is take and cast my speed worm out a little farther than where I want the strike to happen, and then keeping the speed worm top water, on top of the water, just to see if we can get a top water bite off of it. Because I'm not throwing, now that I'm fishing this little pond, a jerk bait would probably be fantastic for where I'm at. And actually, we're gonna try throwing the bladed jig real quick. So that's another issue with these ponds, is because how new they are, because these ponds are relatively, within the last couple, probably 6 months, new. The fish that are in here probably aren't that big. So I don't know if I'm throwing, that's another reason I'm kind of throwing the Texas rig. I don't know if I just hooked up to netting. That's the problem, is I don't know what the bottom of these ponds look like. I don't know if I was just hooked up on a fish or if I was hooked up to the netting. I know you guys probably can't see it, but there's like netting all over the bottom, but it doesn't look like it goes much farther. Well, that's a great way to start the morning, because that was a that was an $18 bladed jig. Just gone. There is tons, I mean, granted, the phone's probably not picking it up as well, but there is tons of bait fish jumping on the top of the water. So there's There's got to be things in here that's eating them. Just don't know what yet. That is rather unfortunate. I'm not gonna be stuck on this bladed jig for long, hopefully. But I was trying to throw things because I didn't know the composition of the bottom of the pond. I was trying to throw things that were weedless, things that wouldn't get stuck if there is grass in the bottom of these ponds. So that's why I think I got stuck on possibly like a rope or something almost for the aerators. Something that, or like if a net was kicked up and the bladed jig like tilted wrong and caught the hook on it. But I don't think the net is up in every spot because of the fact that throwing the Texas rig, I didn't feel it. So it could have just been a fish, a big fish. That's what I'm telling myself anyway. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna tell myself. It was a big fish that just broke off my bladed jig. The worst part is I do not have the best of luck when it comes to expensive bladed jigs. When I buy the expensive ones, I will almost guarantee lose them within the first 3 or 4 casts. I always get into, I think that's one of my main issues when it comes to fishing, is I stay in one spot way too long. And I know I say I need to fix this all the time. It's just the fact on whether or not I actually do it, like I actually move or not. So we kind of went out and passed because, I mean, I'm still probably a little too close, but I know he might come back. There was one that was sitting like right on the edge. And it almost makes me wonder if I'm casting out too far instead of keeping it along the bank a little more. Another thing that I'm kind of waiting on is how long it takes me to get kicked out of here. There's no signs that say no fishing. But the problem is where I'm at is like all 55 plus community. And they don't tend to be too nice about fishing, even though it's listed or not. But knock on wood, so far we're doing pretty decent. Nobody said nothing. So we're gonna keep pushing our luck. So I was going to keep throwing the jerkbait, but the problem is it's a micro jerkbait, so it is so small. Like it has almost zero weight for me to actually be able to cast it accurately or long into the middle of the pond. The water is going to be better than standing in one spot for 15 minutes throwing in the exact same spots. Thought that was the popo coming to get me after I said something about old people not kicking me out. Oh, you probably can't see me because of the sun. Here, there we go. Is that better? You see me now? Cool. I can see you guys a lot better. See, now I feel like I'm turning my back to you guys. But just to keep the sun out of the phone, I'm gonna have to do this. So hold on a minute. I'm very surprised we haven't even had like a nibble. Just a little nibble. I'm not gonna say it too early, but I think this pond might be a flop. I'm just trying to use reverse psychology so I get a fish to bite. But shh, don't tell them that. Back to the expensive bladed jig thing. I was in West Virginia fishing, and I bought 2 jackhammers. Those are $15 bladed jigs. Same thing I lost earlier, just a different brand. Within 3 casts of the first one, I got it stuck in a tree, like 40 feet in the air, lost it, done, wasn't getting that one back. Switched to my other one, and within 5 casts, lost it under a rock. So within 35, 45 minutes of each other, and since I tied them up, I lost $30. And I swore that I would never buy another expensive bladed jig again for that reason, that they're expensive and you lose them. That's a lot of money. Well, I don't listen to my own advice 90% of the time. Bought another jackhammer. This time I was in Florida, and I was fishing this little pond that had a drop off. I was like, okay. So I took and I pitched it out there, let it flutter down, kind of jigged it up and down a couple times. Thought I got a bite. Set hook right into a rock. That was another $15 gone, thrown down the drain or into the water, whatever one you want. All right, what's up everyone? We are back in the car after fishing pond 1. Unfortunately, pond 1 was a flop. There seemed to be some fish in there, but I don't know if they were just too small to be biting what I was throwing, or if they weren't bass at all. But either way, because there's fish in there, give it a couple months and I'll come back, probably try fishing it again and see if any of those fish happen to grow to bite what I'll be throwing. But pond 1, unfortunately, was a flop, but I can't wait to continue this challenge and see what happens for the other ones. I already have pond 2 planned out, so that'll be the next video. See you guys then.